and that will determine the order of the final table and therefore who plays who in those semi-finals. So it's Eklent Kaci against Niels Feijen. Kaci from Albania, Feijen from the Netherlands, who's literally twice Kaci's age. He's 44 to Kaci's 22.
Yeah, I mean, Niels and Eklent will just be glad to be through to the semi-finals. I don't think any of the players really care who they meet in the semis at this level. I don't think that matters. So this is like a bit of a lap of honour.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be hanging around too long. I think they'll both just want to get on with it and get the match played and then proceed with those semi-finals. So Niels Feijen will start us off in the opening rack.
As he sends the cue ball straight into the centre pocket. That is a pool player's worst nightmare, and it's a horrible feeling when you do that. I mean, it's not the worst feeling when you know you've qualified, mind, but nevertheless, it's still not nice. So Kaci comes to the table with ball in hand. Yeah, I'm with you, Michael. Hopefully this is a pretty quick match and both players just kind of, get on with it at the end of the day. They've both qualified. They know they've got semi-final matches coming up.
If Kaci wins the match, then he'll be the only player to have won 5 out of the 6 and would therefore finish in first place. Alban Ocean currently top of the table with 4 wins. He's ahead of Kaci on frames 1. Of course, he's played one more match and has therefore had more opportunity to win frames. And then it's Feijen and Chris Melling both on 3 wins. And they've both won the same number of racks, so Feijen just needs to get 1 rack on the board to guarantee finishing at least 3rd. Well, we said this could be a very quick match and they won't be hanging around. Well, we've barely got comfortable in our seats and this opening rack looks to be as good as over already.
Yeah, even Eklund's got his skates on in this match.
So Eklent Kaci from Albania very, very quickly wins the opening rack against the Dutch veteran Niels Feijen. We've not seen a great deal of Eklent Kaci today. He's only had 1 match on the TV table. This one was even due to be played over on table 2, but it's been moved over here to the main arena. As I said, he's 22 years of age. He's had a series of productive seasons over the last few years. Big breakthrough, aged just 18 at the Aramuth Masters in New York. Beat Carlo Biado in the final of that and won 4 more events of various sizes later that year and reached the semi-finals of the World Championship, losing 11-6 to Roland Garcia. So he really announced himself that year. And he was runner-up in the US Open against Jason Shaw, won a couple of Euro Tour events. Really from that moment on, he's been established as a top player. And the only Albanian ever to play in the Mosconi Cup.
There you see Kaci crunching the break, lost the cue ball a little bit, and this is not going to be an easy situation. Yeah, at the moment, Albin Ocean tops the group. He's played 6 matches, he's played all his games, and he's won 4, lost 2. Eklent is sitting second, he's won 4 matches out of his 5. Of course, he's playing right now, so if he wins this match, he will be our group winner, seed 1 for the semi-finals. And Niels is currently third. He's played 5 and won 3. Chris has, of course, finished his games, played 6, won 3. The main thing is we know our semi-finals. Of course, Ralph and Kelly, they will be back tomorrow. Unfortunately, Chris Robinson is out of the inaugural Predator Championship League pool.
That means Billy Thorpe will be flying the American flag on his own. He comes in Group 3 on Wednesday.
So Eklent plays the push out. Niels is straight down at the table. He's going to have a go at this one up into the top left pocket and try and draw the cue ball back out. A little bit like that, but he's missed the pot.
Mentioned that Kaci is the only Albanian to have played in the Mosconi Cup. He's also the youngest ever Mosconi Cup player. Became that at Alexandra Palace at the age of just 19. And Alex Lely, who was in charge of the European team, he said that the last place on the team last year came down to a choice between these two, and he just went for Kaci over Feijen. Guess you would have had some input into that decision, Carl.
Yeah, it was my choice, pal. No, only joking. I can't take the credit for that one. But you know, we had many phone calls about that last selection, and of course we know Niels could have also played in the team and done a fantastic job. It was just a case of we decided to go with youth. Really, that was all. Just moving forward for years to come. We just kind of felt it was more beneficial to get Kaci out there, and also we feel like Kaci's not quite had, you know, a great Mosconi Cup in the doubles, so we wanted to really work on that side of his game, and that's why we put him with Albin, who's, you know, as you've said all day, very experienced in that type of format. So that was basically, you know, it was no disrespect to Niels, and we spoke to Niels, and he said, listen, I expected it coming myself, no problem, whatever. Just get on with it. Go and win the cup.
Well, that's great when you can do that. You can experiment a bit and build for the future and still win so comprehensively.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was a shame for the likes of Fedor and Chris Robinson. You know, they didn't experience the crowd, but the young guys, they're young in the sport of pool, so no doubt they'll be back and they'll be playing in front of the, you know, the crowd, and they'll really feel what the Mosconi Cup is all about. There you see the tattoo on Eklent's neck that says perfection.
It's hard to believe he's still only 22. Looks older and sort of feels like he's been around a very long time already.
Well, this man at the table right now, he has been around forever, that's for sure. So it's a bit of a cagey rack so far. The one ball is still on the table. Both players have had a few shots of it. Nothing easy.
Kaci had a fairly productive 2019, including winning the 8-ball at the European Championships in Treviso. Got to the final of the last Euro Tour event of the year, and then made a good start to 2020. He won in Belgium in February, almost won in Treviso a couple of weeks later, but from 8-7 up was beaten 9-8 by Jason Shaw in the final. And then, of course, soon after that, he and everyone else got stopped in his tracks by the outbreak of COVID and the suspension of tournament play.
Yeah, it's hard to believe it's been a year. We've been, dealing with this pandemic for a year. That's pretty crazy. Kaci tries to pot the one ball. Wasn't easy, of course, and this is not an easy shot as well. I mean, it's near the pocket, so potting the ball. If he had to just pot the ball, I would fancy him to just pot the ball, but he's obviously thinking about getting on the 2, and he's got to try and avoid the traffic. I think the 3 ball might cause him a little bit of pain. He can play it with a bit of right, but it's not easy. Plays it pretty good. Needs the cue ball to slow up. I don't think he does the 2 past the 9.
Certainly doesn't look like it from there.
I think if Niels wins this match, I think he might top the group.
Well, it would depend what the final score was, wouldn't it? Because, no, actually it wouldn't, because he'd be on 28 racks.
Yeah.
The most Kaci could get to would be 27. Ocean's on 27. Melling wouldn't come into it because he's had 3 wins. So, yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, and if you cast your mind back to early on in the day, Niels lost 5-4 to Kelly Fisher in the opening match. He did then go on to win his next match against Chris Robinson, so he was 1 from 1. 1 from 2 rather.
Well, we've already said Kaci will finish top if he wins, because he'd have 5 wins out of 6, which nobody else has managed. So effectively that's what they're playing for here, is to finish first in the table. So the winner of this, I guess, would then be set to play Chris Melling.
Yeah, and I'm not saying this will, mean a lot, but maybe just getting that little victory over your man in the event. If you can, if you beat the guy 5-1, 5-2, and then you do play them again, which it's highly likely you will do, gives them something to think about. But this has been an unusual rack so far. And you see a little swerve shot, very nicely judged, and that's going to set Niels up lovely now for this rack. It was all about who can get in first and just pot that ball, because there's not many balls on the table and they're all very open. So there you see a little swerve shot again, and pretty much looks, well, I said that he's just slightly overdrawn the cue ball, but he's going to be fine. He can maybe just kill the cue ball there, or play it off the top rail. Could even bump into the 9. He's got plenty of options here. I'm just trying to milk it. There you see. You see Niels' cues very much down the right hand side of his face.
So Niels Feijen levels with Eklent Kaci at 1 rack apiece, and that means that he's now guaranteed to finish at least third, because he's now going to be ahead of Chris Melling on racks 1, even if that's the only rack he wins in this match. So that means Melling is now definitely going to finish 4th. So the winner of this match will play Chris Melling then in the semi-finals, and the loser of it will face Albin Ocean. Well, actually, that may not be exactly how it works out. Melling's definitely finished 4th, we know that. But of course... Well, yes, so in fact it is that way. So whoever wins this wins the group and would therefore play Melling, and then the loser of it would play Ocean. So, yep, that was correct.
It did sound correct, but you doubted yourself there, Michael.
Everything I say sounds correct, Carl. Very little of it is.
Track number 3. Current score is 1-1. Mr. Feijen to break.
There you see the fine break, loses the cue ball again. He's just slightly cueing across his break shot, but you know, sometimes in pool you get rewarded for a poor break and you get punished for a great break. So there you see he's got an open shot at the 1 ball and pretty nice layout. First shot is key, he's got to avoid traffic, and that's where he's just killed the cue ball. Oh, he's landed perfect there. So this is a generous layout. I think if anything, just, you know, I know, you know, both these players have qualified, but if anything, I think it's probably more beneficial for Niels this match, because he, you know, he's one of them guys who works hard at his game. He practices a lot. You know, he likes to get the feel of the table, and he'll probably be treating this match with a little bit more respect than, let's say, Eklund. He'll just, you know, he'll be already focusing on his semi-final match, and he won't really be too worried about this match.
Yeah, there's a bit of a feeling of the calm before the storm about this, because we know both of them are heading into a semi-final straight after it. I'd say the demeanour of both of them so far would bear out what you're saying there. Niels Feijen looks every bit as focused as he has in all his previous matches.
Yeah, and I'm going to touch on something as well. You know, it has been said, obviously, this group format that we're playing, you know, they can, you know, the guy who wins the group will advance to finals day, but there was a little bit of talk backstage. You know, you can obviously lose in the semis or lose in the final and effectively keep cashing in, but I'm not so sure you want to, you know, you want to be thinking that way, because it's a long day, isn't it, Michael? And you don't want to keep coming back playing this format and playing semis and finals late on at night. I think if you get your opportunity in the semis and the final, just get your place booked on that final day and get rest in and get your feet up and watch the rest of the players sweat it out.
Well, Niels Feijen off to a good start here. He leads Eklent Kaci by 2 racks to 1. We'll have more in a moment.
Going to the bottom cushion, maybe off the 8. Oh, trick shot by Woodward. What a shot by Evolution.
One thing's guaranteed, that shot will appear on plenty of highlight reels.
Whoa, did he split the wicket? What a beautiful shot that was. What a beautiful execution.
Look at this. Oh my gosh.
Sometimes it's best if you get up to the table and just hit the ball.
This championship is being played with the new Aramith tournament set. Featuring a unique molecular structure, it guarantees razor-sharp precision and unsurpassed longevity. Unquestionably the best pool balls in the world, this set is available in a TV and a value pack version, as well as in the new My Aramith range of ball and cue cases. Now you can bring and play with the best ball set everywhere you go. My Aramith, bringing new dimensions to your billiards experience.
Opening night at Predator Championship League. Niels Feijen leading Eklent Kaci by 2 racks to 1. It's a race to 5. Both players are already through to the group semi-finals. Whoever wins this match, though, will do so in first place and will play Chris Melling. The loser of it will face Alban Ocean in the semis.
Lovely break off there from Eklent, not just because he's, you know, got 3 balls and he's got an absolute roadmap, but just the pure consistency of parking the rock. The rock, of course, is the cue ball.
I think in terms of the outcome, that might literally be the best break we've seen all day.
Yeah, I mean, that is a very, very generous split. I mean, Albin had one before where it's literally connect the dots, but it's definitely a contender. I mean, that's the type of split you want to win a tournament at Hill Hill.
Well, he won the opening rack in double quick time. He's going to do the same here. Don't think we have a timer on it, but I think this is going to be less than 2 minutes in total for the rack. Niels Feijen put so much effort in to winning those last couple of racks to lead 2-1, and in no time at all that lead is wiped away. Kaci 2, Feijen 2. Makes the game look so easy at times, doesn't he, Carl? Eklent Kaci.
Yeah, I mean, that was a very generous split. Even you might have knocked them in, pal.
Oh, I don't know about that. If I was out there, who would be in here with you? People say the pockets on 9-ball tables are big, but they're not that big. So it's developed into a late night, as I think we knew it would. Still some way to go in this opening group. And I think this is pretty much going to be the case. We'll be here for the next 8 nights starting tonight. I think we can pretty much guarantee top quality late night pool action on every one of those nights.
do like watching Niels Feijen break the balls. He's one of them, you know, one of the players who really gets up and crunches the break. I don't know what speed he's hitting them at, but he doesn't hold back. So it was another generous layout, this time for Niels, off the break.
World champion of 9-ball pool back in 2014. Beat Alban Ocean in the final of that. That was really the best spell of his career. He won more than $200,000 in the space of 2 years in 2013 and 14. And he's still been winning tournaments recently enough. His last big win was in the Las Vegas Open in the summer of 2019. Beat Mieszko Fortuński in the final, and he'll be one of the players coming in tomorrow for Group 2. And Feijen, even prior to that, had already been world straight pool champion. Beat no less a figure than Francisco Bustamante in the final. And he's regained the lead here. Niels Feijen very swiftly accounting for that rack. He leads Eklent Kaci 3-2. He was another player who started 2020 quite well. Runner-up to Fedor Gorst in Athens in January, third in Ostend in February. But then, as I was saying, in the case of Kaci, he got stopped in his tracks when he was playing well by the COVID situation. Been around such a long time. He won his first title on the Euro Tour 20 years ago. He's won 9 more since then. Only the 2 Germans, Rolf Suke and Oliver Ortmann, have won more over the years. And Feijen has also been a 2-time winner of the World Pool Masters. Beat Darren Appleton in the final in Barnsley in 2013, and then just 2 years ago in Gibraltar saw off Shane van Boning to win it again. Can he see off Eklent Kaci? He's in good shape to do so here as the Albanian starts us off in rack 6.
So again we see the wing ball disappear. The balls are racking very generous to say the least, so most players are making the wing ball. Cue ball got kicked about a little bit, but he's got another shot at the yellow 1 ball. He's just got to navigate over to the left side of the table near his hand, because that's his next ball. Needs the cue ball to slow down a little bit, that's fine. Now and again you do see the player, when trying to pop this ball up past the middle pocket, you can often catch the far middle jaw. Not this time. You just get the feeling we're going to go down to Hill, don't you, Michael?
Yeah, it's got that feel about it. Not been more than a rack in it either way. At any stage, it's been 1-1, it's been 2-2, it's probably going to be 3-3. Really starting to see some fluent, high-quality stuff now. And Eklent Kaci has drawn level again against Niels Feijen. They're both through to the semi-finals, but which of them is going to go through in first place? Find out in a moment. It's 3-3.
This championship is being played with the new RMS tournament set. Featuring a unique molecular structure, it guarantees razor-sharp precision and unsurpassed longevity. Unquestionably the best pool balls in the world, this set is available in a TV and a value pack version, as well as in the new My RMS range of ball and cue cases. Now you can bring and play with the best ball set everywhere you go. My RMS, bringing new dimensions to your billiards experience.
Mm. Yeah, he is. They're both through, but which of them is going to go through in first place? It's Eklent Kaci and Niels Feijen vying for that. And it's been very close all the way. 3-3 then, as Feijen starts us off in rack 7 of this race to 5. What's this, a dry break? We've not seen many of these.
Yeah, hit them with power, but now you see the wing ball just goes a little bit high on the side rail, and that's caused the dry break. Niels was as shocked as us. All the balls are sat very pretty for Eklent, so this is purely about cue ball control. Probably play this and just draw the cue ball back about a foot, and then that will allow him to, he can swing the cue ball around the table. Oh, he's coming down. I mean, there's no right or wrong there, that's still fine, can just top it through now.
Eklent Kaci was part of the Albania team, which played in the World Cup for the first time in Shanghai a couple of years ago. They lost 7-1 to Chinese Taipei in the first round. Played again last time, and this time they actually got a win under their belt. They beat Russia in the first round, including Fedor Gorst, who became world champion later that year, and then gave the Philippines, the number 5 seeds, decent run in the second round before bowing out 7-5. Saying earlier, Albania don't have much prominence in international sports. Did qualify for the last European Football Championship and did okay. But this man's been making his mark for them on the pool stage in recent years. And he's first to the hill in this match. He now leads Niels Feijen by 4 racks to 3. First time, in fact, that he's been in front since 1-0.
Yeah, both guys playing at a quick pace, and it does help when the balls are not coming out tricky. There's not been many safety shots in this match, and it's kind of just a little bit of an anti-climax, isn't it? We're all desperate to see the semi-finals, you know, the line-up and get that underway.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course the winner of this will be playing on this table in the semi-final. Whether that might give some advantage to be going straight back on and played in We will find out in due course. We've seen that a number of times through the day, actually, where the same player has played on the same table 2 matches in a row, and actually the results would suggest it doesn't make an enormous difference. They've all played so much pool today, they're bound to be in stroke.
I'm sure over the coming few days, though, the last match of the group
Bracket number 8. Score is
will have a
4-3.
much different bearing on the group,
Mr.
unlike
Kaci
this one.
to break.
Oh yeah, you'll have situations where both players and maybe 2 other players will be awaiting the result and everything hinging on it.
Good break from Eklent there, and he's got a shot on the 1 ball, so this could be curtains. If he does run this rack, he will top the group.
Well, he's ended up playing pretty well in this match, really. If he can play like this in the semi-final, he'll be hard to stop. And then he'll be in the unusual situation, whoever wins this group, they don't play again then till next Monday, so it's okay if you live in the UK, but if not, you've basically got to hang around for a week. Imagine how much practice you'd get in. So this looks to be over now. It seems Eklent Kaci is going to finish in first place. He trails 2-1 and 3-2 against Niels Feijen. But it's been a strong finish. A burst of 3 racks in a row as Eklent Kaci completes a 5-3 win over Niels Feijen. So he goes through in first place.